The Adventures of Batman and Robin for the Super Nintendo was developed and published by Konami. The game released in late 1994 for multiple platforms such as Genesis, Game Gear, Sega CD, and the Super Nintendo. While Konami did publish the SNES version of the game, Sega decided to publish the game for their own consoles. The game is loosely based on the hit cartoon series Batman the Animated Series, which had been retitled to The Adventures of Batman and Robin during the show's second season. The game was actually under development before the series changed their title, which would explain why Robin plays such a small role in the games, despite the fact the game is titled The Adventures of Batman and Robin. The story of the game plays out similar to an episode of the show. A villain is causing havoc in Gotham, and so Batman suits up to dispense justice. While the game does have its own story, it does take inspiration from certain episodes from the cartoon. The gameplay consists of you taking control of Batman as you make your way through the level, and at the end of each you face off against the villain. The game includes 8 different levels where you face off against a different villain from the show, such as the Joker, Poison Ivy, the Penguin, Catwoman, Two-Face, Scarecrow, and the Riddler. At the start of each mission, you appear at the Batcave and have a conversation with Alfred, as he gives you advice on which piece of equipment you should take with you. At the cost of a life, you can revisit the Batcave to go back and equip a necessary item you may have forgotten to take with you. The game also features a password system for when you lose all your lives. The given password will allow the player to continue based on the level where they died. However, if the player managed to complete the game on the hardest difficulty without getting a game over screen, the player will see the special ending to the game. The gameplay might sound simple, but the game does vary from just beating up thugs or henchmen. Depending on the villain you're fighting, you have to equip certain weapons in order to help you succeed on the level. For example, during the Scarecrow level, you're required to equip the gas mask in order to breathe through the toxic air that the Scarecrow dispenses throughout the level. Or when battling the Riddler, you're required to use the X-ray goggles in order to see through the fake walls to help you escape his maze. You not only have to fight your way through each area, but the game does mix up the gameplay to help keep the game fresh. Some examples of these changes can be found during the levels where you face off against Two-Face, the Riddler, and Catwoman. During the Two-Face level, you're in control of a Batmobile, and the entire stage is a car chase. In the Riddler level, you are tasked with navigating through a maze which requires you to solve riddles. Then the Catwoman level turns the game into a platformer, where you must perform wall jumps in order to keep up with Catwoman as you chase her throughout the area. As mentioned earlier, the game did take inspiration from the TV show. Each level is based on the animated series, where they would combine 2 episodes into one and grab certain scenes from each episode. The game level, Amused to Death, was based on the TV show episode Christmas with the Joker and Be a Clown. During the Christmas with the Joker, Batman fought against the Joker dolls and the giant toy soldier you see in the game. Meanwhile, the game took the finale from Be a Clown, in which Batman chases after the Joker in a roller coaster ride. While the game took various elements from the TV series, it seems not everything was considered appropriate for the game. The roller coaster chase in the TV show had the Joker throwing bombs at Batman in the shape of babies, whereas in the game they were changed to look like ordinary bombs. Another change is during the game's second level when you face off against Poison Ivy. Batman cannot throw punches at any of the enemies in this stage. The reason might be because in the animated series, Batman wasn't allowed to hit Poison Ivy due to the controversy of a man striking a woman in a children's cartoon series. The Adventures of Batman and Robin on the Super Nintendo was met with good reception, although critics still had quite a bit of issues with the game. Critics were not too fond of Robin not being playable, dialogues and cutscenes interrupting the gameplay, and the poor controls of the Batmobile. But despite these issues, they still found the game enjoyable. GamePro gave the game an overall score of 4.5 out of 5 for beautiful graphics and sound. IGN recently ranked The Adventures of Batman and Robin number 94 in their list of top 100 Super Nintendo games.
That's it for this episode of Game Overview. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe to the Game Rangers for more videos.